Welcome back, guys. We're back at it again. There's been some progress where I haven't filmed, so as you can see we've got the whole side of the XY done and into epoxy. I had a bit of an issue with the epoxy. It seemed like it was a bit, how can I put it, it was a bit gummy, a bit thick in the tin, and it's all I had, and I had to put it into epoxy anyway, so tried to spray it, but as you can see it's come out a little dry. It's still got good coverage. We got a second coat that was nice and runny, and then it just kept sort of, I don't know if it was drying in the gun or what was happening, but it was hard to work with. Kept adding thinners, this and that, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. But we're back at it. Say hello, Shad.
Hey.
Alright, so what we're doing here, we're just putting the shaker brace onto the bonnet because we're having a bit of a weak spot there where Shad's hand is right now. Yeah, so getting a little bit of flip-flop in the bonnet, and we're hoping that by putting in the brace it'll tighten it up the way it would be as the bonnet is finished, I guess, and allow us to continue with the bodywork. We're just going to see how it goes. If it's still a bit loose, we might try a couple of heat shrinks in that area and see if we can get it, but for now we're just going to see if we can work with this. We've been doing a bit of sanding in the engine bay, just little chips and nicks just to get it ready for high fill, and we've also been doing inside the jams. So let me see if I can open this door. So, you know, these are tasks that we've been giving Noah to do. Just while we're doing bodywork, me and Shad, we can get all these little fiddly bits done. They do tend to take a lot of time, and they've got to get done either way, so might as well do them now. What we're going to be concentrating on today is the boot lid. We've already started. That was it last week? The week before? Week before last?
Yeah.
So we're going to continue with the boot lid. Boot lid's in decent nick now. We did have a lot of previous work that we did on that bottom half of it, so we'll see how that goes. So we're going to do that. I'm going to concentrate on these insides of the pillars and this C pillar here, and then slowly work my way either to help these guys with the boot lid and bonnet, or if we're done with all that, we can flip the car around. But I don't think we'll get that far today. If we can get the boot lid and bonnet and C-pillar done, that'll be good enough. And we'll see how we go. Alright, as we say, let's get cracking. Alright, so what's happened here, you would have seen on the previous episode, guys, we accidentally cut through the bonnet.
I fucked it.
We cut through the bonnet. Anyway, we've got a low spot here and a bit of a weak spot. Now, I can understand having the weak spot. There is a great big hole cut in the bonnet, obviously. So
wait,
you're gonna have. Yeah, what's that? Oh, I never noticed it. Anyway, but it is a little too low for me to sit there and feel, especially towards an edge. So that's a good maybe 2 mil dip right there. So I've brought the Easy Beat. I'm going to try and give it a shrink first and see if it comes up. If not, I'm going to give it a couple of pulls, plus with the heat, and see if it stays proud, which is what we want to try and do. A little bit prouder than it is, at least.
Speaking of Easy Beat, I have one every morning.
And a couple of pulls.
And a couple
At this age, there's nothing about an easy beat. It's
just a beat.
It's just a beat. Yeah, there's nothing easy about it anymore. Yeah, and as you get older, it just gets harder and harder to beat it. But we're still talking about cars, aren't we, guys?
Yes,
I think
still
so.
about cars.
I think so.
Yeah, still talking about cars.
Well, what were you talking about?
No, I wasn't giving any innuendos at all. So we're going to work on that. Come to the back here, Noah. Oh, also.
Oh, yes,
because we're, you know, amateurs, we had previously, a very long time ago, put bog on here with not enough hardener. It was still soft. If you grabbed your nail, you could still rip chunks out of it, so that was way too soft. So we ripped it all up and relayed bog on there. That's ready to go. ready for sanding. We're continuing with the boots. The boot's looking good. Whoops. So the boot's looking good. I've got a couple of areas that I've skimmed a bit again. Got to do a little bit of sanding here, and there we've got a little bit of a low here. So what I want to try and do now is I like to get all my edges to meet perfectly. I don't like them up and down, this and that. So I like the quarter panel to meet the boot, and so on and so on. Every single edge. At the moment, it's sitting low right across here. I haven't checked here, but it looks like it's a little lower there as well. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a beat from the back.
Oh yeah.
Again, yeah, beat from the back.
That's all right.
Oh, beat from the back.
Backbeat.
Usually it takes two people if you want to give a beat from the back. But I'm just going to do it by myself this time and see how we go.
Yeah, just do
then
that.
I'll be able to achieve
Yeah,
it.
do that like,
Just
you know,
maybe
yeah,
if
just-
I get the hammer.
the reverse canyon.
Yeah, if I get the hammer just like that, sometimes
Yeah.
it'll work. Yeah, I'll give that a go. But yeah, just gonna try and put the dolly on this side, give it a bit of a hit, and see if we can elevate that edge a little bit more, so we're not filling it with bog.
Hey, we're talking like we're building a holder. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, I know. No,
Big,
but-
big game, man. Seriously.
Anyway, but if ever we get tired and we feel a little uninspired, we can always just take a moment. Look at that.
And look up
Eh?
Pornhub.
And
Say it again.
Yeah.
And look up Pornhub.
Yes, that's
And look
option
up,
B.
yes. If we're ever lost in how to beat, there's always multiple websites.
There's a good few tutorials.
Visit. Yes.
Of beating your salami the right way
Yeah. Are we having something for that?
without tenderising it.
Yeah. There could be some meat involved in today's.
We're still talking about the same thing.
It could be.
Well, yeah, we jumped from.
We'd hope so.
Maybe even a bit of tzatziki.
Ooh.
Ooh, there could be some white sauce involved. Wow.
some young guy.
Eh? Yeah. Anyway.
Back over this end. So, a shout out to our good friend Alan from Ford Muscle Parts in Kingsgrove, Sydney, New South Wales. Alan. So we've previously bought the shaker surround for the bonnet. Now, before we strip this back, because of all that, we wanted to put the support back on, the shaker surround, and I had lost the backing. Clips, nuts. So I went back to my mate Alan and said, Alan, I've lost them, and just from over the counter, he just threw them at me. He goes, go finish your car. And that was it. So Alan, thank you again for
Thank you very much, Alan,
for your ongoing support with
That's
the
right.
build and the parts. And
I hope you're enjoying the videos, Alan.
yeah, we love you, Alan.
And there'll be this episode.
And
will be
Shane,
coming out soon.
sorry, Shane as well. Shane
Oh.
and Alan.
I'm not aware of Shane.
They're the two boys from
Oh,
Ford
okay,
Muscle Parts.
okay,
Alan
okay.
and Shane. Alan I deal with a lot.
Yeah.
Shane's my cousin.
Oh,
Yeah, but Alan I deal with a lot. You know, because you can't work with cousins.
that's right. Yeah.
So Alan gives me a better deal than Shane.
Especially
So I
with
love
the-
Shane. Shane's
Especially
my
with
cousin.
these ones.
Yeah.
You
So
can-
Shane and Alan,
Yeah,
Ford Muscle
absolutely.
Parts,
Yeah.
Kingsgrove, New South Wales, have supported us and are continuing to support us throughout this build.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get back into it, guys. All right, look, we're having another one of those days, guys, where it doesn't look like we've done much, but we've actually done plenty.
We got heaps.
So we ended up doing a couple of little shrinks and a little bit of pulls with the Easy Beat here, and we got it pretty good actually. We're happy with how much it actually came up. We've just brushed on a bit of the epoxy that was going a bit funky anyway, just before we chucked it in the bin, so just enough to seal it again. Then we can give this a quick scuff in maybe 240 or whatever and lay on some more bog. we got all the non-cured bog, I guess, from here. Laid on a few more skims. We've still got a low across here. This bonnet's got like, I know they all do that, or they, you know, that's how it sort of is. But I'm sure that's not meant to curve like that. You know, it just doesn't suit the shape, I guess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. So we're going to keep filling that until we got it how we like, you know, how we're sort of happy with the flow of the bonnet. The boot's taken quite a bit of work. There was a high here. These have obviously got that bit here where it gets, you know, lead wiped across here. For whatever reason, it's a funny sort of thing that they do on the quarter panels. It's not a full quarter panel. This part is a separate piece. You can actually feel it's a little low there. It's a little funny. You can actually see it even. It's pretty noticeable. But the boot lid was very high across here. So across this part here, the boot lid was high. We gave it a couple of whacks with the timber and the hammer. Got that down. We're happy with that now. We ended up putting a few more packers on the boot hinge. So we had, yeah, to get it to align, I guess. We'll make some out of aluminium as a one-piece thing and then put them back in later. But we had to muck around with different sizes. This is, what'd you say it was? This is a 3mm?
What, the metal one?
That reddy colour one, the horseshoe one.
Yeah.
So this horseshoe one here is 3mm. The actual original packers, which are these things here, they're like a 3.5. They're like a 3.5, yeah. And it wasn't quite lining up nicely here. So now with one of the original ones and the 3, it tends to line up really nice with the quarter panel edge. We did the same thing on this side. This side was a little bit different. It just took a 1.5mm packer, and then that lined up really nice as well. So we've got that edge sort of meeting here really, really nicely now. We're happy with it. These have a natural curve here on the quarter panel, so it's not like the doors where you can sort of skim both sides and try and make them meet. You're going to build up too much edge. So this bog here is for different reasons. It's not to try and get that edge right. We had a couple of little highs and lows here, and I want to try and capture them all together. So this whole section here is really, really nice now. I'm really happy with it. It was dropping off here too sharply. Now this little build-up of body filler here has got it nice and smooth, where that curve sort of feels nice as if it's blending. This side still needs a bit of work. There was a decent dent here, and it's actually behind the frame, so couldn't really get to it. And originally there was a couple of dents here that we've knocked down or whatever, so we've got to skim them back over. So it doesn't look like a lot of work, but we've done a lot of work on this boot in alignment again. This edge is nice now as well. So that edge there, so these two edges meet really nicely. We're happy with those. We've got to do the same sort of thing on the bonnet, but we're not gonna worry about it just now. We've put the rubbers back in as well, so that the bonnet is supported while we do our filler work and sanding. Now what we're going to try and do is rotate the car. The main reason is we get a lot more light, as you can see, coming from this side of the garage. So we've got the other roller door there, and all the light shines across here, which is nice to work on. And because we've done all this side already, we're going to rotate the car so we can concentrate on doing the other side eventually. It has to be done no matter what. And at the moment, we're just waiting on filler to dry on the boot, so we might as well give it a spin. But I'll try and set up the camera somewhere, and we'll see how we go, see if we get stuck in a corner or if we actually get this thing to turn around.
So we've got to pull this completely this way. But fucking where do we grab from then without fucking damaging everything?
I'm pushing from the tyre, which is
Okay.
like the actual dolly, you know. So.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Where's that?
And just like that, guys, it's nighttime again. So we didn't get to do much on here. And as you can tell, our little spin didn't quite go as planned. We got stuck on that edge there and we had no room over here to swing it around. So we've put the some of the steering arms back on to get the two wheels to move together because we had taken them off. So hopefully next visit we'll send it down the driveway, roll it as best we can down there, turn it and then bring it back in. It's a little bit of a mission, but what can you do? It's got to be done. The boot lid's looking really good. As you can see, we've done the link to the actual quarter panel. That's looking really nice. It's on its last skim there. I'm really happy with the way it feels. This is the last skim here, hopefully. On this side had a little bit more damage than the other side. I'm not sure why, but it's feeling good at the moment. So I'm hoping that this is the last sort of sand of this. Again, the same thing. We've done the link to the quarter panel, and that should get that spot on before we move on to the bottom part. It isn't as critical, the bottom part, because it goes black and there's a chrome trim that goes there and all sorts of stuff. So there's lots of things that are in the way, but we're still going to try and get it as best we can. But the good news is, I mean, that is good. That's still good news, but very good news is XY's and Kebabs is back.
Hey!
We're trying a new place today. Well, Shad's already tried it and he said this place is much better. Oh, look at that, look at that. Lamb,
chicken.
And chicken. Oh, look at this. Fire's going.
And
gee, you got a lot of coal in there, dude.
shout out to Savlaki boys
Savlaki boys.
in Marrickville.
Obviously Greeks. And Greeks and XYs usually go together.
That's right.
So shout out to Savlaki boys.
Shout out to Savlaki boys for fueling our project.
And if you remember this guy's face next time he goes in, give him a thanks for the shout out, I guess. That's all we ask. We're not asking for discounts or anything like that, are we, Shad?
Just a shout out, mate.
Just a shout out, So, if you've seen the video by some coincidence and you're one of the Savlaki boys
Marrickville
staff, I guess, at Marrickville, then give us a thanks, and that's plenty for us. But yeah,
fantastic.
finish the night off on kebabs, and then next visit we'll get back into it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you on the next video.